Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be learning about radian measure. In advanced mathematics, angles are usually measured in radians rather than degrees. It's important to know how to change from different forms and being able to express different degrees in radians and radians in degrees. A radian measure of an angle is defined to be the ratio of the arc length s to the radius r. The formula 1 degree equals pi over 180 radians can be used to transform from one form to the other. Let's go ahead and try to solve some problems. Our first problem asks us to express each degree measure in radians and to leave our answer in terms of pi. So first we're going to say 45 degrees is going to equal 45 and then times our formula, which is pi over 80. We can divide both by 5 so that this says 36 and this says 9. So our final answer is going to be 9 pi over 36. Let's try another one. This one says negative 330 degrees. So negative 330 degrees expressed in radians is going to be 330, negative 330, times pi over 180. We can divide both of these numbers by 45 so that this equals 7 and this equals 4. So our final answer is going to be negative 7 pi divided by 4. Now let's try expressing radians in degrees. Our first problem says pi over 6. The way that we would express this in degrees is by flipping the fraction. So instead of it saying pi over 180, it's going to be 180 divided by pi for us to transform radians into degrees. So our equation is going to say pi over 6 times 180 degrees divided by pi is equals, so you can see that 2 pi's cancel out. So we're going to have our answer left in degrees. This is a way that you can tell in case you are confused about which type of equation you're going to use when you're converting something either to radians or degrees. We can divide both of these numbers that are left by 6 so that this equals 1 and this equals 30. So our final answer is going to equal 30 degrees. Let's try one more. This one says negative 7 pi divided by 6. We are first going to write negative 7 pi divided by 6 multiplied by 180 divided by pi. Our 2 pi's cancel out, and we're left with negative 7 times 180 divided by 6. Our 2 pi's cancel out, however, we can also cancel out our 6 and 180. This can equal 1, and this will equal 30. Negative 7 times 30 equals negative 210. So negative 210 degrees is going to be our final answer. Here's a chart of all the degrees and radian measures that are frequently used. It would be wise to memorize these or at least become quite familiar with them, as these ones will be commonly used in standardized tests such as the SAT, ACT, and as well as on your regular math tests. Now we are going to express different degrees in radians to the nearest hundredth of a radian. So our first problem says 10 degrees. In order to express degree in radians, we need to multiply this by pi over 180. So 10 times pi over 180 is going to be our equation. We can then transform this pi into a decimal, 3.14. So we're going to say 10 times 3.14 all divided by 180. If we put this into our calculator, our answer comes out to 0.17 and then repeating 4. However, our directions tell us to write this to the nearest hundredth of a radian. So our actual answer is going to be 0.17. Let's try one more problem. This problem says negative 174 degrees. So first, we are going to write negative 174 times pi divided by 180. We're going to convert pi to 3.14, so our equation says negative 174 times 3.14, all divided by 180. If we enter this into our calculator, our answer is around negative 3.035 and then repeating 3. However, we are told to write our answer to the nearest 100th of a radian. So our actual answer is going to be 3.04. Now let's solve a word problem. The word problem says that a Ferris wheel 60 feet in diameter makes one revolution in 3 minutes. We need to first find the speed of the seat on the rim and then the angular speed. There are a few different formulas that we can use to solve this. I'll put them up on the screen. So in one revolution, we know that the seat travels the distance of the circumference of the wheel, and through 360 degrees, or 2 pi radians. This is keeping in mind that 180 degrees equals pi radian. So we are going to use the equation that says v equals s divided by t. V is the speed, and s is the arc length, where t is the seconds. In one revolution, the seat travels the distance of the circumference of the wheel. The circumference, as we know, equals 2 pi r. So our circumference is going to equal 2 times pi times 30. Now in our formula that we are going to use, it says v equals s divided by t, where s is the circumference. So v is going to equal 60 times pi divided by t. T is the time it takes to make one revolution around the Ferris wheel, which in our problem is 3 minutes. So v equals 20 pi, or approximately 62.8 feet per minute. Now for the second part of our problem. We are told to find the angular speed. The formula for an angular speed is shown on the screen. Now all that we simply need to do is put in the values that we know. So our unknown variable equals 2 pi divided by 3. 2 pi divided by 3 approximately equals 2.1 radians a minute. So these are our final answers. Thank you so much for watching this video about radian measure. I hope that you learned a lot. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye!